All right, guys, so today we're going to be talking about a very interesting concept. Let's see. Okay, guys, so today we're going to be talking about a very interesting concept. Okay,
Ты знаешь об этом, нет?
all right, all right,
Не знаешь?
Не,
all right,
Как ты не знаешь? Ты ничего не слышал про...
ThreadStack
all right,
provided
all
everything I
right.
need to finally have balanced digital life
Test,
that I always wanted. Plus, I
test,
can afford more travel now too.
test, one, two, three, test. Okay, I don't know, we're going to add a source audio input capture. Test, 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 test. Okay. So that's good enough. Let's continue, guys. Thank you for allocating a little bit of your time. And today we're going to be covering a very unique concept. The concept that many of you guys perhaps will be familiar with, but nevertheless, a very good concept. Very good concept of, well, I guess you're going to find out what kind of concept that is. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm quickly going to go and open up Notebook LM. So, and we're going to jump into the slide deck. Okay, so this is what we're going to be covering. Very unique concept. Um, and yeah, thank you guys for allocating a little bit of your time. And today we're going to be covering the following objectives. And this is a roadmap. This is happening from 6:30 to 9 p.m. And yeah, guys, this is an opportunity for you to learn something very exciting. And of course, this is how it works. Um, Essentially, what we got defining the network, textbook versus reality, and we got the jacks, and the infrastructure, and the cats. So we got Kuza, we got Klopa, and we got Martha. We got some resource sharing, and yeah, this is what it looks like. Network types, personal scale, Bluetooth, Ethernet. This is what's going on. The architecture, topology, really fun stuff. Now the infographics, it looks like this for this. So let me kind of show to you what is going on. And we go here. So if we go to infographics, this is our launchpad. So this is what we're dealing here, guys. Take a look. We got networking foundations, the CompTIA Network Plus, and this is the concept that we're going to be covering over here. Woohoo! So if you go to as you can see, Network Plus is offered by CompTIA, a line system of connected devices designed to share resource and facilitate communication is the foundation of the connectivity. And of course, there's many different types of networks: PAN, LAN, WAN, MAN, WAN, MAN, all sorts of AN endings of different types of networks. And what you see over here is the structure and career paths for common network topologies in different types of Dobermans and cats, hairless cats. So without further ado, let me go ahead and kind of break it down for you to make it easier for you to fully understand what's happening. So this way you get familiar with what we're talking about and what we're going to be covering. So we're covering, as you can see, there's different types of networks. And the best way for me to describe them is to show you how everything is connected. And the best way I could do that is through the following network foundation topology, and this is just an example of the time schedule for what I'm going to be teaching. And this is an example of what is network, what is framework. This is the framework I'm using to quickly explain how everything connects. So think of cats as devices, the clients, and think of jacks as the server, the router. And there's different types of networks that exist out there. And of course, there's some of them may be considered inefficient, and others could be considered very efficient. So kind of think of it this way. The decentralized networks are where you happen to be on your own. You kind of just exist in your own ecosystem. Uh, think of think of like a isolated printer, or think of decentralized platforms out there. There's decentralized social media platforms as well, believe it or not, like Blue Sky. And of course, there's advantages of decentralized network and centralized network. Think of centralized network as being more efficient in terms of in terms of multiple resources getting access to it from one central place. And of course, decentralized is being kind of on your own island. So when you wanted to get resources, you kind of stuck. You kind of stuck on your own with your own bag of food. So you could kind of think of it the same way uh, when it comes to resource sharing. So why should we connect cats to jacks? So Jax is a happy Doberman. Why should we connect cats to Jax? Think of once again cats as clients, Jax as server. The answer is resource sharing. Instead of buying three separate printers or treat bags, all cats share one via the network. And of course, the communication here is somewhat fairly straightforward, where Kuzia can send a message to Martha without physically moving. Think of this as a centralized way of communicating. And centralized management is when you have jacks can update the rules and security updates for the whole house from one spot. So you guys could think of networks as a way of interconnecting data together. And of course, data is represented by cats and dogs over here to make it easier for you to kind of understand this concept. So this is why business translation. This is why Office have server room. It lowers hardware costs and centralizes data control. And of course, here's some definitions. Network geography, personal area network, a network centered around individual's person, workspace, and very short, typically within 10 meters, 33 feet, usually Bluetooth or NFC, near field communication, that's what it stands for, or USB, Universal Serial Bus. I'm sure you guys used it before, but this is just some of the methods of interconnecting. Think of it as a personal area network. You could also think of Zigbee. I'm sure you guys maybe you came across this word Zigbee. That's another way of interconnecting smart home devices to one central hub. Maybe you have like a smart device in your house, maybe Alexa or some other type of smart home. So that's what you want to think um, in context of personal area networking. So you come across personal area networking on multiple bases, multiple occasions. Now, if the question is, if the question on Network Plus exam, if the question involves pairing a headset or syncing Fitbit, the answer is PAN. Just kind of remember that, okay, guys? It's a little tip for you for Network Plus exam as you're preparing for that. So obviously right now this is just kind of a preview of what I'm going to be covering in university. This is obviously not the full-scale material in university settings. You get a lot more. You get access to flashcards. You get access to different types of quizzes. You get access to breakout rooms. The environment is completely different when you learn from one another, guys. So if you are interested in learning this and signing up for the class, let me know. We do have some scholarships available. Now, scholarships are limited, by the way, guys. So, but anyway, we got network geography, we got LAN, local area network. This is the difference between PAN and LAN. So, definition, a network covering a small geographic area like home, office, or group of buildings happens to be a local area network. So, think of jacks once again, Ethernet, connectivity, bedrooms. Think of like a Jack's room, and Cat's rooms, all kind of playing on their own iPads. So Jack's pod scenario is the entire house, all cats can access the internet via Jack's, where Jack's happens to be the router. And they can send files, uh, and they can to the shared printer in the hallway, and they all go through Jack's. That's how they connect. And connectivity happens indeed over the Ethernet or cable or Wi-Fi. So this is and ownership is the network equipment is usually owned and managed by the user or the company. In this case, my brother owns all the all the cats, so it's owned by him. He's the owner of Jack's Paws. So yeah, guys, and this is Jack's Paws headquarters. So right now we're going to be talking about network geography, the wide area network. So we got time allocation. Right now we only got 5 minutes real quick, 50 minutes real quick to kind of explain this part, guys. So we got Jack's Paws headquarters LAN, and we got another LAN. And there's an internet and ISP, internet service provider, is what connects them all together. So you could think of it as the wide area network as a connection of multiple local area networks interconnected with one another. So a network that spans a large physical distance happens to be, well, the internet is the largest one. You could think of it this way. It connects multiple smaller LANs together, and ownership, you generally lease the connection from a provider, ISP, like Verizon or Spectrum, and rather than owning the cables yourself. So in this jackpot scenarios, we are sending the cat's health data from the house LAN to the vet server um, across town. So you could kind of think of it this way. And we got over here cat 1, cat 2, cat 3, cat 4. So think of the star topology. This is where all the devices connect to a central device, switch hub. You easily install one of those cables. The pros are clear. If one cable fails, well, then e.g. Kuzi's lines cut, only that device goes down. The rest of the network survives. So that's the benefit of the star topology. Now, cons, if the central device jacks fails, the entire network goes down. So the relevance, this is the most common topology in the modern Ethernet and Wi-Fi networks. And what do we got here? We got mesh and hybrid. So those ones are different topologies as well. So full mesh, every device connects to every other device. Pro, maximum redundancy. If a line breaks, traffic reroutes. Extremely expensive and complex cabling. Hybrid, a combination of two or more topologies. Common and large enterprises, that's the hybrid. So like combination of star and bus. Now, keep something in mind, guys. In real world, you come across all those topologies. So there's many different applications for each of them. But full mesh is, you could imagine, like everything connects together. For example, in a Cisco world, there's this concept of dynamic multi-point VPN, where you could have connections from multiple routers interconnected with one another in a full mesh where everything is connected to each other. Keep something in mind, mesh is rarely used in wired LANs due to cost, but common in wireless Internet of Things and wide area networking for reliability. So now let's just kind of map your reality. Think of jacks as that router. Think of cats as your thermostats and smart home devices. That's kind of the best way you could kind of represent. Think about your current workplace or your home setup. And try to identify the jacks. Where's the central router or server? Where is it in your home? Is it a box, in a closet, a rack, in a dedicated room? Try to identify the cats. What devices are the fighting for the bandwidth? Which of them are point of POS systems? Which are guest Wi-Fi users? Which are security cameras? So try to kind of figure that out. Think about it in your own home. And in a star topology office, what happens if the main switch loses power? So remember we talked about star? So if you go here, so the star topology, what happens if the main switch loses power? If the central device fails, the network goes down. So now that kind of answers that question, right? So the next thing we want to cover is why this matters, the IT career pathway. So we got local business support. So think of it this way. Every bodega and a coffee shop uses a LAN for their point of sale systems. They need people to fix them, and you could be the person who's helping them fix it. And the same thing goes for smart home Internet of Things devices. The explosion of those smart devices created a massive need for network technicians who understand mesh Wi-Fi. That means knowing how to scan data and have a lot of fun with antennas, scanning different types of wireless access points, carrying your little laptop and doing all sorts of surveys. And of course, that is something also network technicians are needed for. Plus, in enterprise IT, the star topology is a standard for corporate offices. Mastering it is the entry ticket to help desk and junior admin roles. So that think about it. The star topology is a standard for corporate offices. Mastering is indeed the entry ticket. Now, of course, right now, like when I'm describing the all those different topologies, one thing is knowing about it, the other thing is actually having experience with it, guys. And of course, you're going to learn more about it. Um, but the future skills that you definitely want to be involved with is digital marketing, AI automation, and TikTok shops. This are the skills that you could gain over time, guys, if you wanted to kind of increase your marketability, especially if you, let's say, you can't make it in a corporate settings, can't get a job as a help desk or service technician, then you could easily expand that Network Plus career further by combining it with future skills from digital marketing, AI automation, and TikTok shops. Um, where you pretty much learn how to sell products and make sales from that. So hopefully that makes sense. And of course, guys, let me kind of break it down what we're covering today. And if you have just joined, my name's Ron Wells, and I'm covering quick workshop that we're doing over here and showing you how to gain expertise in computer networking. And right here, I'm showing you an example of my brother's cats and dogs, and providing you an example for how to relate them and how to understand the concepts of computer networking, and also learn some of those skills that are really rare that you could apply for your career, depending on which career path you choose. But I started with this career a while back, and I had very good results. I became a millionaire just by from being an engineer. Now, of course, you could take all sorts of paths in lives, guys. You could take boring paths or fun paths, doing TikTok shops or anything like this when it comes to your career. But at the end of the day, there's always going to be some sort of a passion that you love. Maybe your passion is pets, cats, and dogs. And maybe you do want to combine Network Plus together with your cats and dogs and make money on TikTok Shop while also becoming an engineer. Or maybe you want to support local businesses, and every bodega and a coffee shop uses a LAN for their point of sale systems. So they definitely need people like you to fix them. And of course, guys, for all of this, it takes a little bit of time for you to learn, but just think about it. Once you learn the skill, the new pathways of opportunity is gonna open up for you. And of course, like here's what we built tonight. What we built tonight, you now possess the vocabulary to describe the digital infrastructure of any building you walk into. Whether you have, and of course, here's the geographies, PAN, LAN, WAN, and so much more. And of course, they're defined as a network sharing. Um, and you have accomplished lots of things today. We talked about PAN, LAN, WAN, mapped topologies, give you some tips and tricks and questions. Now the question is, like, are you able to understand this in real life? And the answer is there's no, in real life, it's not like somebody comes up to you and tells you, hey, can you take a look at my pen or something like this? No. In real life, the questions will be like, hey, my Bluetooth doesn't sync. And then you kind of gotta recognize, oh, we're talking about pen network. Okay, what do I know about pen networks? How do I troubleshoot them? Or it could be something for LAN, like can't on local, my router can't connect to my printer, and that could very well be somewhat in between pen and LAN. and depending on how your printer is synced. So if you go to PAN, if you go to personal area network, we have a very short range, typically within 10 meters, 33 feet. We got connectivity, usually Bluetooth, NFC, or USB. And printers can very well be like it could be USB printer, it could be a Bluetooth printer. So the first question is always, how is the printer connected? Is it through Wi-Fi? Is it through Bluetooth? Before you could actually determine if it's a PAN, LAN, or WAN. And of course, guys, the next up is how do the data moves, time allocation. We only got 10 minutes for this. So the mystery, we know how the devices are arranged, topology, but how does Jax actually send a message to Martha without Cleopa reading it? So this is a very interesting question. How does we know how the devices are arranged in topologies, but how does Jax, meaning the router, actually send the message to Martha without Cleopa reading it? And you could think of it in a cat's example. You could think of it as a how does a Jax, uh, interact with one cat without getting another one jealous. That is also kind of a way of communicating, and indeed somewhat of a mystery too in the modern world of scientists who are trying to figure out how animals communicate with one another, and what is that kind of communication. But in a real world, where we live in we often ask ourselves, well, how do we send something without somebody else being seen? And of course, right now you're getting a small little preview of the OSI reference model. And the concept, this is something that this concept will break down this essentially in the next lesson. We'll break down the 7 layers of the communication from physical cable to the web browser. And then we'll review the CompTIA definitions for LAN and WAN before Thursday's class. So guys, this is kind of what I wanted to say, and instruction ends here, and we're good to go. And yeah, hopefully that was clear for you. Now, going back to the next class, this is just kind of a quick intro for the next class. So if I was to kind of show to you what is going on, we got over here, view, slideshow. And so this is basically a preview of the next slide where we're going to be covering Cleopa, Martha, Kuzia, and I know it's misspelled Cleopa here, but can't blame the AI, but did a pretty good job creating this infographic. And it even included Jax with a CompTIA Network Plus certificate. That's pretty dope. Now, yeah, guys, I mean, this is what we're going to be covering in the next lesson. I'm hoping that you are somewhat excited for the next lesson, but there's a lot of layers of SI reference model that we need to discuss. Don't get overwhelmed by all this. Um, and I know hopefully Jax made it a little bit more fun for you guys to kind of understand all of those things. And of course, if you guys want to take a look at Jax, this is Jax, the hairless cats, in my brother's house. And as you can see, this is what it looks like. This is what the actual brand looks like. In case if you wondering, like, why am I creating this brand? What we're doing, well, I have a program that is outside of the college program where we teach people how to monetize their pets, cats, and dogs. And in this case, it happens to be, my brother's cats, 3 hairless cats, and Jax, happy Doberman with a beautiful paw. Of course, you could take a look at Jack's Paws account over here on YouTube and learn more about it. I promise you're gonna love the content. It shows so much stuff about Jax and all sorts of polls that you could take. It's a snow playtime adventures, and if you have a dog, you definitely guys gonna love it. And of course, in this program, we also show different types of ways for how to create amazing looking videos, how to use AI, and so much more. Over here, as you can see, Jax is just playing in the snow and having fun. And of course, here's him dropping the ball. Oh no, the ball was dropped. What happened to the toy? And of course, you guys learn how to do this, how to combine technology, how to create beautiful stickers on cruise control, how to combine all sorts of elements yeah, together, and yeah, and just have stunning videos, be able to create them and yeah, and sell products, sell pet products. So hopefully that made sense for you guys. And of course, I'll see you next time. And of course, if you wanted to register for the course for Network Plus, then this is the time. We do have some scholarships available if you guys are interested. Today, you just seen a quick preview. Obviously, I was going at hyper fast pace. This was nowhere near the speed. This is nowhere near the speed that I'll be going through when I'm in a class with you, but this is how much this is. So the class is taking place on Tuesday and Thursday from 6:30 to 9:30. By 9, we typically wind down and have all sorts of questions being asked by you. And this is the time that you could ask those questions. It's a 72-hour program, covers the design, maintenance, and security of a network infrastructure. You will gain hands-on experience with virtualizations and troubleshooting while preparing for the CompTIA Network Plus certificate. And of course, just to kind of give you the understanding, what we're going to be covering, here's a Cisco packet tracer. As you can see, this is something, a tool that you're going to be using, you're going to be learning for how to interconnect all those devices. And of course, as you can see, it's loading. It's like a little simulation, but it will help you kind of build together a bunch of routers, bunch of computers, connect them together, create a bunch of labs, and just be able to connect those connections together. And of course, there's different copper cables, and here's different fast Ethernet cables. You connect them to different routers, and then you connect it to a different port, and then right here you got some traffic. Think of it as this one as jacks, for example, uh, and um, and then basically you send packets of data from one device to another one. And we'll be playing simulating the real world networks and connectivity. So this way you could quickly understand how all of this works and start building your own career. And then sooner or later be able to have your own job, have your own company. Like over here, take a look. I do have my own company. As you can see, this is the company that I founded, um, DBA Binary Fusion. And as you can see, I ended up selling this site to my one of the companies that I work for. I made a deal with them. If they leverage me as a consultant for life, I'll give them away this site for free. So basically, as you can see, there's a lot of details, but I think you guys got the idea. And what I'll do next is I'll try to probably create another lesson for you guys. I'm gonna kind of shut down all the Chrome browsers because it's an overkill already. But um, yeah, guys, like this is how it works. If you guys want to learn more, definitely um, reach out, DM Path on my Insta if you wanted to join this, or if you wanted to join one of our feudal incubators. Our feudal incubators are $295 per month. It's different from what is offered in university, and it's covers different types of skills that are not taught in college, like monetizing the heck out of your pets and blasting them on TikTok Shop and making extra income together while building a brand. Um, and of course, some of those things we may be offering in college, but for now, and indeed, like digital marketing 101 is something next that I'm going to be teaching. But I wanted to show you this and give you guys some